Many thanks to all of you joining us today, and welcome to the latest webinar from Ingenta. RedLink's Publisher Dashboard is an established service in which all academic publishers should be interested, as it allows publishers to see customer, publication and portfolio trends in use. It facilitates preparation for the renewal season, identifies hidden opportunities, and much, much more. The dashboard's already been adopted by society publishers such as the American Society for Pharmacology and Experimental Therapeutics, and according to their journal's director, Rich Dodenhoff, it saves time and effort dealing with unwieldy county reports and instead gives quick insights into usage trends and turnaways affecting customers. Ingenta is delighted to be able to offer the Publisher Dashboard to any of its publishing partners as an optional service. Our guest presenter today is Nicola Poser, Managing Director at RedLink. Nicola has almost 20 years' experience in academic and STM publishing, having worked on books, journals, and online products at publishers of varying sizes and business models. Over the years, Nicola has worked in sales and marketing, market research, and new product launch strategies. She joined RedLink in August 2016 as Managing Director, responsible for sales, marketing, and customer experience, as well as human resources and operational functions. Nicola is active on the SSP Marketing and Communications Committee and is currently serving as liaison to the Annual Meeting Planning Committee. Nicola, many thanks indeed for joining us today, and I'll now hand over to you.
Thanks very much, Byron. And thanks everyone for joining. And I look forward to hearing any questions that you have throughout the presentation as well. So just a little bit about RedLink. I joined in 2016. RedLink had been around for about a year at that point. We are an independent software as a service company. And as you'll see from the presentation, focused on analytics primarily. We do work with both publishers and libraries, and we do also have, so we have products for both, and we see part of our role as trying to bridge common interests that publishers and libraries share. So we'll talk, focus on the dashboard today, and I am going to, whoops, the screen just changed. There we go. I hope you won't mind, but I'm going to turn off my camera while I'm presenting, and then I'll come back on at the end so you can see. So diving in, there we go. So some background information on the dashboard. It is, as Byron said, focused on usage data, and we present the data in a business intelligence framework. So lots of ability to do comparisons and look at trends and changes over time. So the primary role really is to identify opportunity and risk for the sales team. But as you'll see throughout the presentation, the data can be used certainly by other functions within an organization as well, particularly marketing, but I think there are also insights that are useful for the editorial team as well, particularly when we look at the newly launched enhanced product view, which we'll get to at the very end. So it is, as I mentioned, it's a software as a service, so it's a cloud-based product, and it gives you 24/7 access to the data. So if you have sales agents around the globe who need access to information in timing that works for them, it's no problem. They can log in and get that information when they need it. We focus on denials, full text usage, and how that's distributed across the portfolio. You can look at consortia usage at the top level and the member libraries within the consortia. You can look at the usage trends by discipline, publication date, and title. It's a very intuitive interface, and it responds almost instantly. I'll be doing primarily slides today, but trust me, it loads really, really quickly. And what we do is provide you with visualization tools. So data visualization really makes it easier for you to see those trends, maybe spot some things that you hadn't even thought to wonder about. So that's one of our goals. As I mentioned, we recently enhanced the product view, so you can also review the usage at the product level. So looking at top institutions, comparisons, and usage over time by product. You're able to look at the product portfolio at the top level and then drill down into the various products. And across the dashboard, you're able to create and save custom reports and export the underlying data as well as the visualizations to share with other members of your team and stakeholders. So as I mentioned, we work within a business intelligence framework, helping sales teams increase customer retention and sales by providing actionable insights based on metrics including expiring subscriptions, full text views, abstract views, pay-per-view, and denials. We show the data in various ways. You can see we have some time series, pie charts, histograms, there's a map. So lots of different ways of looking at the data. And this is what you see when you first log in. So this is our home screen. The three widgets at the top are to give you a quick thumbnail of particular trends. And you can see there that if you hit the view all, then you would go to a full list. And I will show you what that looks like. You'll see customers with the greatest amount of decreasing usage. Something that you may, if you take a look at that, you may decide you want to act on that. Maybe do a marketing campaign, figure out why usage is dropping. You'll see customers who've had the most denials or turnaways, which can represent an opportunity for upselling. And of course, expiring subscriptions that you want to stay on top of. Underneath those three thumbnails, you see the pie chart with top customers. You're able there to click on any customer's name to drill down and go to the customer usage page. The pie chart shows you your top accounts. It's also possible to drill down and see the full list. The default metric here is denials, but there's a little drop down. You can very easily just switch it over to looking at full text, and it will update automatically, or to look at abstracts, pay-per-views, depending on what the platform provides as well. And this chart, you'll see the little arrow there, can also be downloaded so that you can share it. So this is, if we clicked on expiring subscriptions and we went to view all, then you would get this list that shows you your full customer list and what's getting ready to expire and when. And if you can sort by, oops, excuse me, go back. You can sort by that expiration date and see, oh, look, customer 5744 has subscriptions expiring coming up. Data here is from a couple of years ago, but let's pretend it has more recent numbers. And then you would click in and you would get to the detail for that customer. So here you can see everything that customer subscribes to and the date. And then from here, using the menu across the top there, and we'll walk through a little bit of this so that you can see the other things that you can do at the customer level. But just to show that very quickly you can get to the detail of a customer, what they have access to, and when things are getting ready to expire. So if we click on the usage tab, brings us to the customer details, and we can do lots of things on this page. So I'll just spend a little time explaining the various aspects of this page. You'll see there's a C next to customer 1. That means that this is a consortia customer. So you can click on the C and then you'll get a list of all of the members of the consortia. If you want to move and look at some others in addition to the one that you're looking at, you can also go to the parent account and see the usage across the consortia, depending on how your sales are set up. You can change the time frame. So here we're still on the usage screen, but we've changed the time frame and expanded it a little bit to see a longer time period. You can change the metric again. We're looking at full text and denials together here, so you can do that as well. And then if you want to focus on the denials, you can dig down to find out a little bit more, find that spike. And then from this, once you've done that and you're curious to know more about the spike, you can drill down and pull the usage by the titles that they're subscribed to. So you can see here we're looking at all publications, and then we've pulled some out specifically. You can also search using the custom search field at the top there to get to things quickly, or come in as we've done through the list, find something that draws your attention and then click down to find out the detail. If you have your content divided into slices based on publication year, for example, you can also see the denials in terms of where they're coming from in terms of content slice. So in this case, we can see that most of the denials are coming from content that is more than 5 years old. So there you have an opportunity perhaps to do a backfile or archive campaign. The slices are customizable, so you can set them up to match your portfolio. And then select all custom and you can see all of those slices again. So really useful when you're promoting a backfile or an archive to a customer who's subscribed to your current content, but perhaps seeing high denials to the backfile. So then you can access a pie chart with the top 35 of your titles and see the amount of full text usage. So we're still looking at customer 1 and we're seeing the top titles that they use and the denials. So we've switched the metric here. So we can see what they are consuming and not consuming pretty much on the same screen. You don't really have to visit different charts. You can just change the metric here and see that. And also, since this is a consortia account, you can also see the aggregated usage of the metric. If you want to see the usage of a specific member, you can go to that user's distribution page. You can also change the scope to cluster members in ways that you're interested in seeing to see where usage is coming from. So here we've clustered the top members of the consortia, and we can see also where the denials are coming from if we change the metric. In this case, we can see that more than half of the denials are coming from a specific customer labeled here as customer 1788. You can also analyze your usage by discipline. We've created a taxonomy that you can use. We can also upload your taxonomy if that's better for you. And this, the taxonomy would generate a chart showing you where usage is coming from by discipline. So for example, in this case, we can see that high usage coming from the natural sciences. And then we can drill down within that life sciences is generating 61% of the natural science usage. And then drilling further down to see that biology makes 80% of the life science usage. So the taxonomy that we have created is typically 3 to 4 levels deep. Again, we can also customize that. So now let's look at usage year on year. So you can see here that usage, you can see if usage is going up or down based on specific metric or publication. You can choose the publication there from the drop-down. For this customer, usage is down over last year. So that might be something to investigate further. If you provide us with revenue information, we can also show cost and cost per download information. So this chart shows revenue and cost at the same time. We do some prediction around what we expect the projected usage to be for this year. So in this case, it would be 2018. We would project based on what we've seen so far, what we expect to see through the end of the year. And cost per download also is available and comes up as a year-on-year chart so that you can see the cost information and share that with your customer as well. We can see here that cost per download has gone up. In some cases, often we see that the revenue or the cost may have gone up, but usage has also gone up and cost per download has actually come down. I mentioned the search function. We go to the search page, we get a list of all the customers on the right. And then on the left, you'll see the facets that you can use to slice the customer list. So right now we have 259 pages of customers, a little bit overwhelming, But if you pick some of the facets, for example, we can see here we have 400 customers in Germany. So if I'm a sales rep or an agent in Germany, I might want to focus there. So I would select that. And now I have just those 400 customers. And I can filter the denials for the time frame that I'm interested in. So if I want to look at 12 months, so with a few clicks, I have all my customers sorted with their denial information over the past 12 months. And I should just mention here, I said if I'm the sales rep or agent for Germany, I would select that. You also can assign access based on territory. So if you have a sales rep who covers only Germany and you only want them to be able to see the information for the customers in Germany, you can set up the access so that they can only see their actual customers and not the full your full list. If I then remove the Germany filter just by clicking on the blue bar at the top where I have it, I'll just go back to show. So you have here your filters that you've selected. You can just deselect, and then you get your full list again with the number of denials. If you want to use full text and click on those 0 usage customers and find out who they are, you can also do that. If I click on the United States, I can see that there are 2 pages of customers with usage, 0 usage in the US. So that might be a place to target some effort. You can also use the map view and see all the countries where there are denials or the usage metrics, and on the left side, a list of the top 4. So you can click on more and specify a country. For example, we could specify Russia in this case. You can hide the map and see the customers of the list of customers with denials from Russia. I also want to mention here that you can export any of these lists and charts wherever you see the green export arrow. That means that you can export this list into Excel. Another useful tool is this search bar at the top. So if you have a specific customer you want to look at, you're going to visit them tomorrow and you want a quick update, you can search by customer name or customer number in the box here, and you'll go right to it. In the search screen, you can also focus on accounts with specific usage change. So if I want to find customers that have increasing denials back-to-back by quarter, so for example, or 4 weeks, and I want to see customers with an increase of a specific amount, say 70% or more, that's what the slider down here can do. So you can do that. You can only look at those that have changed by a specific amount. And then if you click, you'll get the detailed information there, and you can see where the spikes are. So this allows you to focus on accounts with a specific amount of change. And you can spot those spikes in denials or in usage by just changing the metric again. If you want to focus on your users with decreasing usage, say they're down 45% or more, again, you can use the slider here, and then you'll get your list, and then you can select one again to drill down to see the detailed information. You can also focus on specific countries. So if you want to select, say, India, for example, you would see 4 users from India that are having drop in usage. And you can also show the geographical representation of the results just by using the Show Map or Hide Map button that's at the top there. I also wanted to show you what the business intelligence overview looks like. This is a histogram that gives you an overview of your customer base. And you can use this, for example, to compare last quarter of one year with the same quarter the year before. And focus on full text. So if we do that, this is what we would get. We would get a more detailed histogram. We can see that there are 251 customers with a 20% increase in usage and 278 that have a 20% drop in usage. So this represents all the customers and the usage change for each one. And you can see the detail just by clicking on the blue bar. So let's say we want to know about the users that have a 40% drop in usage, and we click that bar, then we come back to our list and we can see who those customers are. So the overview can give you a really quick holistic view of your customer base. Again, spot any, highlight any trouble spots, and then you can come back and drill down. You see the same facets at the top, percentage of usage increase, drop, the countries you can select, or the user range. And you can export this chart also as a spreadsheet or as the image. Another feature that we haven't really shown you is the Assignees feature, which I mentioned, so that you can assign your sales rep or agent. So you see that down here. And then as an admin on the system, you can just select the assignee, and then you would only see the information for that territory. So the other thing I mentioned is that you can create and customize and save reports. So on the home screen, toward the bottom, there's an area where you can customize, and this is where you would save those reports. So let me just show you. Actually, you can see the little push pin at the top next to the title of the report. If you were to click that, then you would get, it would create a pinned report on your home screen. And you can pin as many reports to your personal home screen as you wish. If you want it to be a report that's shared with the full team, then you can designate it as a team report. And you can just easily do that by clicking on the little settings wheel and designate it as a team report. You have 2 slots for sharing. Finally, I want to show you our new product view that we're very excited about. So we've added a new tab at the top, Product, and it has the same functionalities. It has the search screen, the business intelligence screen, and the business intelligence overview. So just to repeat, in case I didn't say it clearly, the search really is more of the raw data and the list information of your customer, whereas business intelligence, the business intelligence view is really where you would see the trending data and the changes over time. So it's just slightly different ways to get to the information depending on what you're interested in seeing. But the product view works rather similarly. If you click onto the search page, you would get the facets on the left to filter, as we saw earlier in the customer view. And you can choose whether you're looking at your journals or databases or ebooks. You have the discipline filter. And again, you can choose the metrics you want to look at. If you have bundles and you want to look at the bundle level, you can do that as well. And once you've selected some filters, then you get obviously a shorter list, and you get the information here, a full text that you've selected to look at, and you can export that as you see the green arrow at the top. So now you have that information by product. Then if you select one of the products, you get to the more detailed page. You can see the usage distribution by country, by content slice, or by customer. You can see the usage in the time series over time, and you can change the date range here. If you want, you can change the metric. Again, you can select specific countries. And you have the ability to compare products. So if you want to look at 2 similar products together, you can do that. This is usage year on year. So we're looking at 2017 and 2018. So just another way to slice and dice your data depending on the questions that you are hoping to answer. So we've come to the end of my prepared presentation. I'm very glad that we are partnering with Ingenta to try to bring the dashboard to Ingenta's publishing partners, to bring many of you on board and make these metrics available to you. We have a pretty wide range of customers. We do have a partnership with the Independent Scholarly Publishing Group, ISPG, which is many of the smaller society publishers. We also have some larger publishers as customers, De Gruyter, for example. We work with McGraw-Hill. So we have a pretty wide range of customers using the dashboard, from those with one publication to those with many publications. We work with several university presses as well. I should also say we are able to, obviously, by working with Ingenta, we would be getting the most of this data directly from the platform, which is really great that we've talked about how we can make that work easily. And we do work with several other platforms as well. Pricing actually is something that we've talked with the Ingenta folks about. We want to make this affordable. So our hope is that by bringing on hopefully lots of publishers from Ingenta, we'll be able to offer a very attractive price, since we will be able to minimize a little bit of the work by working directly with Ingenta to get the data. We are planning to waive the setup fee. So typically there's a setup fee and then there's an annual subscription. So our hope is that we have enough publishers interested that we're able to move forward with a real attractive pricing structure where we can waive the setup fee and keep the annual subscription at a reasonable level. So I'm happy to talk more about that as we see the level of interest, but that's certainly our hope. So we will sign off here, and thanks again for your attention today. Really appreciate it.